Welcome to Visnostic 630, Wine 630. Hope you have your wine. Ruben has his wine. Jen has hers. Jen, what are you drinking?
I have a Tempranillo, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yes, yes.
You're being good. You're not staining your teeth like we are.
Oh, no, I totally am. It's red. Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm like, between this and all the blueberries I'm eating and drinking, yeah, there's no hope.
Ruben, you're being good. You're not staining your teeth. What are you drinking?
I am actually drinking brandy and water.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into this. I want to tell everyone that's watching what you're going to get out of today. This is an exciting Wine 630 because not only are both of these people, Ruben and Jen, are brand new Visnostic readers, but they got it super fast. Both of them see the potential. And by the way, I love that a dog just barked because it is National Dog Day. I usually put mine up. Mine will probably make an appearance here shortly too because it's National Dog Day. They didn't get tied up in the laundry room today. But as far as people listening, this is what you're going to get out of it. How fast your life can change with Visnostics. And Ruben in particular, we've been talking a little bit before this. He has done some amazing transformations on his descriptions. He's got some beautiful properties that I know are going to sell really fast because of just modifications and how he's articulating the value of the properties. Instead of talking features and functions like bedrooms and baths and granite countertops, why do people care? He has translated that into a lifestyle of how people are going to live in these properties. See, I told you my dogs. So Ruben, describe how you got involved with Visnostics.
Thank you, Kimberly. So I do real estate, and I tend to read the descriptions myself every time. And I came across this particular property, read the description, and I'm like, who is this agent? So I read all her listings, and that's how I got to you. She sent me your name and made contact with me and you, and it's just been mind-blowing. I bought your books, I watched all your YouTube videos, I shared it with friends and family. Even my friend in South Africa knows about you, and I've just been on this roll. The reason why is I am, well, firstly foreign, so English is not my second language, and I need to have a tool where I can communicate effectively with people. And this was just another thing on my plate that it's just opened so many doors. It's phenomenal. I'm trying to speak that way without even making it sound like I'm selling you something.
Right.
So it's just phenomenal. Yeah, you did not me, you did a great job by bringing this and putting the pictures in my mind so I can realize how can I be a better salesperson and a friend.
Oh, that's great. And Jen, what's your story?
Yeah, well, Ruben, thank goodness. I mean, he shared. So he shared a listing. Well, so he shared, here, read this. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, that's beautiful. Had an introduction to you. And then we're connected because he's actually in the process of selling my daughter's dad's house. So that's kind of been seeing the transformation in that listing has been just phenomenal. It's gone from what I originally read was I felt kind of cold and okay, like there are the features there, it's listed, it sounds grand, but I wasn't sucked in. Like I didn't see myself in it. Like I kind of envisioned it, but it was kind of cold, if that makes sense.
Yes, very.
So yeah, it's been interesting watching that because I know the property. Like I have an emotional attachment to the property that, that this kind of evolved on or from. So seeing the transformation just in that listing, yeah, I'm like, I'll share that he read me the listing after you and him had revised it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in tears. Like it was so touching. It was everything that I loved about that home in that, the memories that we've made, just the happy that I want to leave for the next family was all there. So
Yeah,
totally transformational.
it's beautiful. Yeah,
Ruben,
it made a big difference.
can you share the description that she just described?
The original one, yes, I can. You want me to read it for you?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and read it?
Okay.
This is the original one?
No, so I don't have, on that particular listing, I don't have the original one. But I can read you the description. Now, as you heard, she said it was cold and it didn't sell her the house. And after I read it back to her, she was just in love with this house again.
Well, first of all, describe how you got the data to create the new description.
Yes, I think that's a very, very important part. So normally you would sit down with the seller and you would talk to them and find out what their bottom line is, and you do the most of the talking. And now I realized that by following the rules in your book, asking the memory. So I asked the seller, his wife, and the 2 kids, give me your memories. What's your favorite memory of the house? And why did you love this house to start off with? And they each gave a small, like 30 character words. And I changed that into a story that makes you visualize what is happening there without even being in the house there. And it changed. It really changed. I mean, I feel it made a big impact. Jennifer, it made her cry when I called her up and was like, okay, here's your new description. What do you think? And then she's like, oh my God, I'm just crying. And I'm like, it's really phenomenal.
That's cool. So let's hear that description.
Okay. There is a special place for every type of personality in this incredible home. You will find an oversized 2-car garage is your favorite part of the house, or the peaceful study where you can shut the double French doors and escape the tune out of everything. Your friends will comment on the unique kitchen backsplash and how envious they are of the bright, spacious kitchen. You and your friends can have fun while the kids are entertained in their own separate spaces. You will make forever memories cooking dinner together around the giant island and playing charades in the living room. So just remember, all these that I'm reading to you is memories that I'm just putting in a story. And when you want to change of scenery, just take a brief walk down the end of the street where you'll find a little pond and a waterfall that awaits to meet you and melt away your stress. There is no limits to the memories you will make in this perfect home, but you need to act quickly because we're expecting multiple offers this weekend. So that was this, and if you know, so Jennifer knows all the parties that's selling, and she could exactly determine who said what in it, but it just creates a stronger emotional connection with the buyer because now they can visualize themselves staying there, living there, buying the house. And it's great. And by the way, we might be accepting the offer tonight. So
Oh, that's fantastic. How long has it been on the market with the new description?
7 days. It was last week, yeah, about 7 days.
That's really good. How long was it on the market before you changed the description, or was it
14 days?
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was already on the market for about 2 weeks. So we are heading the 3rd week. But I mean, this contract that we might be accepting today, we've been negotiating it for a week. So just after I changed the listing, that's when this lady was really interested in purchasing this house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did she reference the description at all when you?
No, she didn't. Well, I haven't asked her. I haven't. And you know what's the funny part? These people have not seen this house.
Oh, that's fabulous.
They are not.
That's
They're
just
from
so
New York. They have not seen this house.
And they made an offer without seeing it because of the description. That's fantastic. And then you also, not only, one of the things real estate agents know, but a lot of people that don't sell real estate don't realize, is that you have limited number of characters. You could have written so much more than what you wrote. And so when you have that overflow, you can add little stories to those pictures. And this is the property you had 32 pictures?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. And so you were able to use Visnostics to do the description. So instead of saying, here's a room with granite, or kitchen with granite countertops.
Absolutely. So every picture I created a picture with the memories that I created the picture by just reading. So you can literally read the picture of the kitchen and envision yourself in that kitchen. And you as a buyer want to buy it. You want to cook in that house. You want your friends to come over. And that is the success of the selling part, is you need to create the emotion in the buyer's head in order to get him to buy this property. I mean, these people have not even looked at this house.
That is an amazing story, which I did not know until just this moment.
Yeah.
You shared that with me. So that's very cool.
So I'm really excited about that.
And Jen, do you want to add anything to, when you read that description, like what was going through your mind and how it made you feel and what were your thoughts?
Yeah, it went from, I don't know how to say, it went from kind of cold and grandiose to luxurious and warm and inviting. Is the best way that I can describe just that transition and that process. I mean, probably one of my favorite tweaks definitely was the kitchen, the black backsplash, because I love that. And then playing charades in the living room. It was like, that is what that house is. That house is making memories with your family. Mm-hmm. And enjoying the master bath. I think it went from a word in real estate that I didn't even understand to, oh, okay, there's a big bathtub in there, and it's oversized and spacious. So it was a totally different visual. Just with that caption on the photo.
So what you just described is the dopamine and serotonin that was released. And even though you cried when you heard that description, it was good crying. It wasn't like sad crying. It was like an overwhelm of emotions that you didn't understand. But would you rather someone sell your house that old way or the way Ruben is selling the house?
No way, yeah.
This is where the magic really is, that a lot of real estate agents don't look at, because they're thinking, I need to get an inventory and I need to sell the inventory. Right? That's what they want to do to make money. But what they don't realize is that when you use Visnostics, you're releasing dopamine and serotonin, and people don't know why they love you, but they're feeling love towards you. Like Pavlov, they rang the bell. He rang the bell and gave the dog meat. So every time the dog heard a bell, it would salivate. People don't understand the emotions that they have with Ruben. The buyers and the sellers both are going to have these emotions about Ruben, because he is now saying, without saying the words, I sell dreams, not houses, right? That's what you're doing. They feel it. And they know that they relate you just like the bell, they relate to goodness. Something good's going to happen with you. So if they know someone that's selling a house, they're going to refer them to you. Your referrals are going to go through the roof. Yeah. Just like you noticed Gail, who was it?
Yeah, it was Gay, yeah.
Yeah. Gay, you saw that and you noticed hers was so different than a typical. So you even commented on it. That in itself speaks volumes.
My people ended up buying that house, my buyers ended up buying that house because the buyer likes the listing, so they go through it over and over and they keep reading this, and then they look at the pictures and they read the description of the pictures, and before you know it, you have an offer knocking on your door. But besides the financial aspect of it, it just creates such a beautiful bond between me and the seller, me and the buyer, that I'm changing the way I speak, the way I say stuff, because ultimately it's never what you say, it's how you say it.
Beautifully.
I only realized what that means now after I read your book. I've watched all those videos. I've ordered the other 2 books. So, I mean, this is going to open doors for me and for Jennifer to be better people. Just because we always tend to talk about ourselves too much and never listen. And now this is the opportunity where I'm listening, I'm appreciating, and I'm sharing other people's memories. And we love it. It's so beautiful.
And it's so simple. When
Yeah.
when I called you the first time we talked, I said, I have 2 pieces of advice to give you that'll change your world. One is what you say to buyers, and one is what you say to sellers. Do you remember what that was?
Don't ask questions was one. And make it about them.
That's right. But there was a specific, you just said it's not what you say, it's how you say it. What do you say to the sellers to get them to share those memories with you?
I simply tell them, tell me your favorite memory of that. I don't ask a question. I instruct them in a nicer way.
Right.
Tell me your favorite memories. And let's switch that to buyers. It's like, describe your perfect house to me. And they describe it. I take notes, and nowhere in that conversation I ask how many bedrooms, bathrooms. I used to do that. I used to ask you how many beds, how many baths, what location. Now I am assuming that listening to what you say, I find a house for you.
Yeah.
And it's creating so much opportunity for every sales guy needs to know this.
Yes.
They need to know this. So.
Yeah, so when we bought this house that I'm still in, we just had our 20th anniversary in August, how long we've lived here.
Wow.
And we never in a million years thought we would spend as much money as we spent on this house. So most real estate agents would say, okay, what were you pre-approved for? And we would tell them what we were pre-approved for, right? Because they don't want to waste the seller's time or bring us into a home we can't afford. But what you qualify for is not necessarily what you can afford. And that's where a lot of real estate people mess up. Because if I had said that, it would have been $200,000 less than what we paid for this house, right? And when you start talking, tell me how you envision living in your dream home? When people start pulling that out of their head and they start envisioning it, they build this chemical reaction, and all of a sudden money is not an option anymore.
Yes.
They'll find a way to, if you can show them that dream home, they will find a way to make it happen. It's amazing how much money is left on the table by real estate agents today. Jen, can you describe to me how you see yourself using this in your job?
So I wear a couple of hats. I work with a builder. So real estate, but not really real estate. And even just since our conversation, how, like Ruben was saying, just my conversations have changed. In making them more important. Like they're the focus. Like, what is your dream home? Like you're saying, what do you envision? What do you want your kitchen? Like, tell me more, not so much, okay, I need 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, blah, 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 this much space and this, because your picture of it in your brain might be totally different than the picture of it in my brain. So this has given me a tool to kind of meet in the middle, like dig in and really understand what your vision is of, what is 2 bedrooms, 2 baths to you? What is your lifestyle? How are you going to use this? So that, and then coaching as well. I do life coaching, and again, just listening and being able to tap into the needs, so not only does this translate from listings, it translates to, how am I going to grab attention for my target audience and my future coaching clients? So yeah, it's been fun playing with that aspect of it as well, and really drilling down, making it short and sweet, and just hitting that desire, and hitting that, I don't know, that heart point, I guess.
Yeah. And both of you guys are single right now, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna derail this just for a second, because this is a really important aspect. I want to make sure people realize this is not just for selling things. This is for relationships.
It's for everything.
Yes, it affects everything, right? So how many times have y'all gone on a date with someone where all night long they talked about themselves and they're trying to impress you, right? We've all dated that person at some point in our life, right? And you want to chew a body part off to get away from them, right? That's that fight or flight instinct that you feel kicking in. So imagine if you really found someone that you really are smitten with, and you tell them to describe their life and their dreams and their goals, and they're filling their head and mind full of all of these positive thoughts, and the chemistry's going crazy. They're falling in love with you and they don't even realize it.
Okay, hold on. I'm taking notes there. What was that?
But also it will help you qualify the wrong person, right? So if you have someone that is focused on you and what is your dreams, you're going to be more inclined to want to see them again as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now it's going to help you be more particular, and you'll know what to look for when you're out there dating. So it works both ways.
Yeah.
Very true. I definitely can see, like, it kind of hones it down.
Yeah.
Especially knowing, Ruben, in just this process, it's like we have goals, we have aspirations, so it's like we're set, and this really does, it eliminates so much. Like, qualifying questions are just there, and they're easy, but they're not invasive or abrasive even. It's just, they're compassionate, but yet still qualifying.
Does your builder give you a list of qualifying questions that you need to ask?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she has a whole list of what? Sorry, I actually took your question, but yeah.
No, you're totally fine. Yeah, well, and it is. I mean, our process is getting into the dominant buying motive. What is their dominant buying motive? But we're still not taught to make it luxurious. Like, we're not given the tools to make that dominant buying motive pretty, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you have a list of those questions handy, or can you rattle one off that you remember?
Just a lot of it is their pain points now, especially COVID. Why are you looking for a new home? Now a lot of them are in an apartment. How much are you paying in an apartment? You realize what you're paying in an apartment, you could be paying yourself. You could be investing in your future instead of just throwing it away and putting it in somebody else's pocket. Kids, taxes, just kind of just digging in to their lifestyle. Yes. And I guess that's part of too, is this has helped. If they're in an apartment, maybe they've never had a home, maybe they don't know, they're having a hard time grasping what that vision even is, because they've never tasted it. So not having a taste of it, it's kind of hard to put yourself there. So this is kind of a tool as well to guide them into envisioning themselves and seeing how their lifestyle will change.
Yes. So what you just described is very, very important, because when you ask questions, I use the example about the senses. Everyone just got the senses, and people don't go, yes, I can't wait to answer all these questions. We don't like questions. It's a fight or flight trigger. And so and we assume when we're asking questions that people are understanding why we're asking the questions. You're giving them way too much credit. So for example, if you're wanting to talk someone into buying a home instead of leasing an apartment or leasing a home, they don't want to be persuaded. Their guard will go up, the fight or flight will engage. But when they figure it out, when it's their revelation, we're like, why am I renting? I want to buy a house. then it's their decision, not your persuasiveness.
Mhm.
And they're going to come to you and say, would you sell me a home? Because now they've made that decision. Using, instead of questions, but Visnostic statements to say, I'm going to make a statement. You tell me, I can say this today. I wish I could say this today. Not important, not applicable. When I move, I'm going to walk away with thousands of dollars to put into my next investment. Can you say that today? Do you wish you could say that today? Not important. And I'll tell you, they'll figure that out themselves going, no, I'm walking away with nothing because I'm renting. But it's so much better if they figure that out than you tell them that they should be thinking that way. Mm-hmm. And that's the magic of Visnostics. It completely changes the thought process in your audience. So their revelation will start happening, and then they're going to be like, oh my gosh, can you help me? Please tell me a home.
They want it to be their idea, or yes. They want to be the driver in it, and they don't want a passenger telling them how to drive. And now I am simply changing the whole, I'm still the passenger. Instead of saying you should go left here, I'm asking him, why would you go left here? No, I'm telling reverse. Instead of asking them why would you go left, I'm telling them go left here, and there's a surprise. So you need them to discover everything, and once they get there, they just blubble out. And I'm sitting there and I'm writing notes like crazy, and they do all the talking.
Yes.
I mean, they literally do all the talking, and then you take their notes, and that's where that beauty comes in. And they like you because they get to talk to you, and it's like almost like they blow out and say, okay, I'm done. That's it. And now you're the hero in it, and it's really nice. I mean, it's changed a lot of things in my perspective in my life. I don't know about Jennifer. I'm sure it changes a lot there. You're killing it. I mean, this Visnostic selling is the best thing since sliced toast. I'm telling you, it's changed my life for the better. It really has.
So you just proved my point, because I could have said, this is going to be the best thing since sliced toast.
Exactly.
But it's so much better when you come to that revelation, right? And we did that by having you tell your stories, right?
Absolutely.
And we're living it right now, and we're demonstrating it right now. So you read the whole book, Ruben, and I know, Jennifer, you just got the book, and I know you haven't read it, but we've had a few discussions. What are some of the principles? See, look, I just asked a question. It's so hard. I invented this, and I know better, and I still ask questions. Tell me the principles that resonated the most with you. That's going to change the way you do things. The principles that are taught in the book. Tell me what really resonated with you.
So I read the whole book on my way to Vegas, and then I read it on my way back to Vegas. And one of my other friends are there to tell you that's what I did. So I had a hard time understanding what the book is about. Even knowing what it is about, I had a hard time understanding. But the moment when I got to Vegas and I spoke to you, and you said to me, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It just clicked. It just clicked. You need to be open to them giving you everything, giving that information, and with putting out the statements is pretty hard. I mean, we are so conditioned in asking questions. But the principle that really stood out was that it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I read the book twice already, and I'm probably going to read it again because I feel like I still need to master this. And Jennifer, she's laughing, but it's true. This is a book that you read 3, 4, 5 times, because every time you get something more. But the principle that stood out is not what you say, it's how you say it. Well, let's rephrase that. It's not what you ask, it's how you ask it.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
No, I'm curious to find out what is Jennifer's opinion on all the videos that you watch, and me just talking my head off about this whole Visnostic selling, because I even got the seller into it. He's in sales. The Jennifer's daughter is wanting to run for president one day. She's into it. So I mean, this is life changing, and not just my sales, my personal life, my career, my friendships, even the way I speak to my dog has changed. I mean, it's really phenomenal.
I love the dog one. That's so cool.
Yeah.
But it's true. I'm like, it just rolls over into everything. You know, it's not a sales tactic, or, you know, a get rich quick, you know, kind of talk him into this, or, you know, it's a tool, and yeah, a tool, and it's I want to say a talent, you know. I mean, it's definitely a gift that if you take it, you understand it, you develop it, you work with it, and you're able to hit people at the heart, I think, is a lot of it. And that's where we really want to communicate from. You know, we want things to resonate. We want to feel it. We don't want to think it and be up here.
Yeah. And oh, go ahead.
No,
Ruben?
I actually agree with her. I
Yeah.
really agree with her.
And I did the money exercise with both you guys, right? The money exercise.
I can't remember. No.
It's in the book, where I'm going to say a word and you tell me the first visual that pops into your head.
So this is interesting because you got one male and one female on here, and now it's just once again to confirm that we think differently. Men and women think differently, and that is why she said my initial description was cold. I mean, that description was perfect. It told you exactly what you want, how you want it, when you want it. Yeah, that's how the guy aspect sees it. And then obviously when we changed it, that's where Jennifer started liking it, because I realized I need to be softer. And so yeah, do the money exercise. That's going to be a good exercise.
Yeah. So when I say the word money, what's the first thing that you visualize when you hear that word?
Like dollar. What was yours, Ruben?
Mine was house and the Range Rover, and things that you can actually touch. Yeah. So yours are the actual dollar sign, or
actual dollars? Like I heard, like ching 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 in my brain.
Yeah, so I've been doing this since 2009. That's when I came up with this money exercise. And the common things are, some people see color, they see the color green. Some people see the normal stuff like the coins, the money, the bags of coins. Some people see structures like banks or houses or cars. Other people see, they see an action like spending money, like traveling and shopping. And other people see saving money like stocks or 401k, right? And other people get emotional. I never said, tell me how you feel. I say, tell me what you see. And yet there's about 20% of the audience that will always tell me money's evil or money is good, that they feel happy. They either feel happy. One lady broke down and cried seconds within me saying that word. And she just happened to be going through a really difficult financial time. So that word was brought up all kinds of emotions. The thing is, and this is an important principle in Visnostics, words are subjective. And you have to watch every single word that you say. For example, I have this amazing reader. I love him. He's made me grow so much because he's outside of my realm. He's an artist and he wants to sell his artwork. And so he came up with this Visnostic statement, and he called me so depressed because he said it didn't work in his business. And his Visnostic statement was, describe to me how your life would change by a piece of art. And this guy goes, oh, I saw this one piece of art and it ruined my life and da 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 da, and it was all this negative. And I said, because you used the word change. Tell me how it changed your life. One word. And I said, if you had just replaced that word changed with improved, tell me how a piece of art has improved your life. You're triggering the positive thoughts. Whereas when he said change, you gave him too much subjectiveness. Words can be subjective, and it's a very dangerous thing, because change is a good thing to him, but it was a bad thing to this guy. Just like money was a good thing to some people and a bad thing for others. So you've got to be careful of every single word in your statement. And like y'all said, and you've already acknowledged, this is an art and a science and a skill that develops over time. Yes. And when you see it backfire, you'll get it. One of the things I challenge you to do is go back and watch this video when I post it. Without the sound, and watch your eyes, because both of your eyes have been doing this. When I call on you to describe something or explain something, yes, Jim too. You'll be shocked when you see your eyes, because your brain chemistry is triggering visualizations.
Yes, yeah. From a little age, that's what my parents taught me. When you look someone in the eye and they look away, they're either thinking or lying. And so I've always been looking at people's eyes, and then, so if it goes on top, they're thinking. If it goes down, they're lying. So I don't know if it's true. There's no real scientific fact, but you mentioned that in your book as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've been looking at eyes that it goes up when people think. It's a habit, and I am now trying to get rid of that. Is stop doing it. Just stay staring someone's eye the whole time, even when they ask me a question or make a statement to me, that I just look in their mind. But we are so conditioned in what we've always been doing, that we don't realize that we are hurting ourselves by.
Have you ever sneezed and kept your eyes open?
You can't. I tried.
Well, I'll tell you, it's also almost as impossible to have a visualization and not have your eyes do that.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. And it's not a habit. It's a brain chemistry reaction. It is your brain telling you this is what you do to visualize. So you don't have to try and change it.
Well, I don't want to look down the line part.
That's the other thing. In today's world, people look down a lot because they're looking at notes. So looking down doesn't always mean lying in today's COVID world. It means they're on Zoom call.
It is a whole new world. Yeah. And that's another thing, is, like our clientele is changing. Our customer is changing, just the dynamics out there in general, they're buying or changing. So,
and I'm glad you said that, because right before this call, Ruben was sharing a before and after post. Has he shared that with you, Jennifer? The one on the land?
Oh, not yet. No.
I'm going to go ahead and change myself. I'm going to make Ruben a host, and then Ruben, would you show or read the before and after on that post?
Yes. Before I share the screen, let me read the before post. So as you can see, I'm reading from something. That's why I'm looking down.
We've established that this COVID world, that's okay now.
Yes. So this is what I put in one of my listings before I discovered Visnostics. I mean, I was totally a rookie. I went with what was the norm that people were saying. But you always try to still make it interesting, but you were selling. And I think that's where the problem comes in is when you try to sell, that's when you lose the sale. So just give the facts, make the statement, let them decide, and it has made a difference. So here it is. Welcome home to your private quarantine paradise on this 12.38 acres unrestricted property, close to I-45 and even closer to Sam Houston National Forest. Raise food with chickens in a coop, 29 fruit trees, and irrigated garden, or fish in your own private lake. Bring horses and cattle. The property is fenced and cross-fenced with 5 different pastures, 1.3-acre hay field, and a barn 20 by 30 with a private lake. You will find plenty of space for tools and toys over the 1,000 acre square foot shop with additional attic space. I mean, this is so bad I can't even read it.
Actually, it's not that bad. I've read a lot worse than that, Ruben. Don't beat yourself up. It's
So,
good.
What I've been doing is all the information is available to the buyer, but I've been putting this information in there again. 12 acres, it says it on the top. 29 fruit trees, it states it on the back. 3.8 acre, it states it on the picture. So everything I've said in this thing is just unnecessary. It's really unnecessary. I'm not creating a picture and a visual, and I'm carrying on by saying there's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom guest house. Your home is perfectly located with stunning views on the lake, and also boasts granite countertops, 42-inch cabinets, stainless steel appliances, tankless hot water heater, wood burning fireplace. I mean, those are all things that if they look at the listing, they will see all those things mentioned throughout the listing. So I've changed it, and now I'm going to share my screen so that you can have and this is the one in blue. That's the new description. And while you look at it, I'm going to read it to you. This is exactly what you have been dreaming about. Your favorite part of living in this home is the morning sunrise over the lake, greeted by a bald eagle that does its rounds. Or perhaps it's an orchard of mixed fruit trees blooming in spring, getting you all excited to make that amazing pear jelly in the summer. Your guests will want to stay over in their own private resort where they can make their own coffee and breakfast in the morning without waking you up. So remember, these are used from memories of the sellers that I just simply translated into a sentence. So family and friends will compliment you on the natural beauty that surrounds your property while sipping on your favorite beverage on the pier with fresh fruit from your garden that you picked. You will make wonderful memories in the open plan concept, playing family games, and when you need a breath of fresh air, you could wander around your property and feel the stress fall away step by step. The possibilities are endless. The property is extremely popular, and we're expecting it to sell soon. Skip the wait and call today. So, I mean, it really has changed a lot, in my mind at least. I don't know about the reader because I cannot think for them, but in my mind, it has changed a lot. I've used the memories of the seller to tell you what is happening here, and you can create that memory yourself or bring your own memory and just put yourself in it. It's really fun.
I'm like, you got me again. Because I've been to this property, and yeah, I'm like just seeing the difference in that. I'm like, yeah, I love that. Yeah, get up and make your own coffee in the guest house, and they don't have to wake you. And the pier, I'm like, it was inviting, but now it's really inviting.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. Kimberly, I don't think anyone ever says this to you, but you're phenomenal. I mean, this changed my life, and I'm helping to change other people's life and telling them about this amazing tool. So me and Jennifer is all about self-growth and getting to the top. And this has really, really been a game changer. And if other salespeople don't use this, because some of them don't get it. some people don't get it. I mean, I can write that description all day. Some people don't get it. So as you said, it takes a special kind of person to see it, and that's all I need is that one buyer.
When you made this statement to the sellers, describe to me how your favorite memories of the property, and you gave the description back to them, I assume?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How did they react? Tell us how they reacted.
So they were not shocked, but they were like, oh wow, this is our place that we are selling. And something happened on the contract that we have, and because of this description, they're like, we're not selling it. Well, not for that price. More. So yeah.
I didn't know that until just now either.
So that I mean, it has changed the viewings we've had in 4 weeks. No, in the last week we had just over 1,000 views on this property, where the previous 20 days we not nearly the same amount of views. Because people also talk, so you put it on, they see it, the friendship. And you know what was the beauty of this statements that I put out there? Even if it does sound odd, strange, not normal, that person reading it is still going to go to his friend and say, hey, look what this guy wrote here. And it's just a vicious cycle running over and over. So
yeah, you just struck on something very important, which Visnostic teaches. Visnostics is visualization diagnostics. And when something, what you write resonates with people, they remember it. And I can tell you from looking at this house, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. They all start sounding the same. And a lot of buyers go and see 5, 6 houses in a day or more, and they get them confused and they don't remember them. But when you write a description like this, they walk into the house and they don't see a kitchen with white granite countertops. They see the memory that you painted, and they see the dream, and they're going to remember that house because you painted that picture that no one else did. And you better hope not many people read the books, because that, and I even write about that in the book. Hopefully, if you're reading this book, you hurry up and execute, because once this becomes the norm, it'll lose its magic. So we want all those 99% of people selling badly, right?
Well, this is a gift. What you are giving people is a gift, and I don't think a lot of people, well, everyone gets it. So, because I have spoken to some people, they're like, oh, so you're going to be like doing this? And I'm like, no, that's not what I'm creating. So I don't think this is going to be just a short sensation and pass away. I think this is something that's going to stay for a while. And what you got is really good, because not everyone gets it. They don't understand the technique of putting the picture in someone's mind.
Jennifer,
so yeah, you don't have to worry about that.
No, I mean, I think it's beautiful. It's something that's definitely, I'm like, not only in work, but personal. You know, I'm able to articulate better. I think even eliminating frustration in conversations somewhat, you know, because you kind of step back, and when you can understand better, then it just takes the conversation to a different level and faster, you know, so it eliminates frustration for sure.
Well, thank you. So let's wrap this up. Normally these are only 30 minutes long, but y'all were doing such a good job. I didn't have the heart. I just couldn't turn it off. And there's 2 of y'all, so 30 minutes each. That's fair.
It's an hour.
So let's wrap this up by, you guys, I'm sure someone's going to be looking at this and thinking, I want to buy a home from these people, or I want to sell my home with this methodology. So what's the best way for people to get a hold of you, Ruben? And then Jen will get yours too.
With me, they can go on HRR, they can search me online. I will pop up. Ruben, just search Ruben Jonker. You can also call me, 936-689-0848, or you can send me an email, ruben@rubenjonker.com. regardless, or even a text message. But if you Google my name, I will show up.
Thank you. Jen?
Yes. So Jen Colmenares, Colmenares, @gmail is really the best way to get in touch with me. That's the most direct. Houses, coaching, Jen has 2 N's, Jenn, because I'm quirky like that. So yeah, I like reach out for anything. I'm like you. That's what I love about you, Kim. Really, is like you're just accessible. You're a real person. To have a real conversation is priceless, and to hear it straight from you really is just like Ruben keeps saying, it's a gift.
Thank you.
So thank you for your time, and thank you for your time and your talents.
Well, I plan on this is very selfish on my part, because I plan on writing your success stories in a future book. So we're going to, I have a vested interest in everyone's success, and I love both of you guys already. And it's because just the topic itself, we're all oozing dopamine and serotonin right now and don't even realize it. And if I was there, I would give you each a big hug, but let's just do a virtual toast on Wine-30. And there we go.
Having everyone on the show. Cheers.
Okay, we'll talk soon. Call me anytime.
Absolutely. We will. We'll talk soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.